It is the Riot Podcast. Hey, it's a regular one.
We are back from our fall fundraiser. Thank you, especially on our final day. Heard from so many podcast listeners who help support RadioU. So our fall fundraiser, we have less than 9% to go to get to 100% fully funded. So if you didn't get a chance to get in last week, consider supporting at RadioU.com, but at least you get a long podcast again.
Yes. And what's in it, Isaiah?
So today on the podcast, we talked about a pretty boring weekend in sports overall. Also a sad weekend for me.
Yeah.
And I've came to the new realization that if the Cleveland Browns lose this Thursday,
are you done?
Oh, yeah.
No, listen.
What's the brownie? Always the brownie.
I'm a very positive fan, but the deal that we talked about last week, where if you stop watching football for 2 months, you could lose belly fat. If they lose this Thursday, I would be willing to take that deal.
You're done.
So it's just all dependent on the circumstance.
All dependent on it. If they lose this Thursday, I would take the deal of skipping football for 2 months and losing some belly fat.
Who do they play on Thursday?
They play the Denver Broncos, and if they lose, that would be the biggest, literally kick to the shin of the entire season.
They're at home?
They are at home, yes.
All right.
Do you want to make brownies on Friday morning?
On Friday, if they lose, I don't even know what I will be like on Friday.
That's your last thing before your
tired.
2-month break from them.
I'll be so very tired. We talked about that. We also talked about an exciting trailer that we all are pretty excited for.
Yeah, I think so. It's just
the Batman trailer.
What you'll find is...
We can just say it. It's Batman.
Yeah.
Spoiler. It's the Batman.
It's not a spoiler.
Yes.
The spoiler would be like, what did we think about it?
What the spoiler is, we're all our excitement is tapered off because the movie is still so far away from release.
But I do think it's funny. They're like, March, only in theaters. Just in case you're wondering, it's only in theaters.
Not on HBO Max, unfortunately.
So if you've watched the trailer and if you have any thoughts, text us your thoughts to 877 to RadioU.
We also talked about people just being comfortable at work, just being able to come in and just enjoy where you are in a warm space.
I posted, when we talk about Isaiah, it's about him and his blanket. That's not a spoiler also, but I posted it at RadioU Official on Instagram. And if you go to our RadioU Facebook page, it's at RadioU Riot. I'm just dying to see people's response to the blanket. It's going to be
so positive. I can't wait.
Make sure if you head over there, let us know what you think about your blanket workwear for your day.
We're probably going to bring the conversation back around tomorrow because we've gotten more texts about it and stuff.
Yes.
And
that's why everybody was calling you Linus. I thought people were just texting wrong. I'm like, why do they keep calling him Linus in the text message? Because of the blanket thing. Oh, that makes more sense.
There you go.
All right, we have a new nickname, Isaiah.
So we talked about that. We also talked about Christmas a little bit. How Christmas shopping has started. And I've already knocked out a couple people.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
This past week, I got my mom, I got my dad, my 2 brothers. I got to get for Carly. I got to get for my roommate. So I'm on top of it.
Good.
I'm ready to roll.
Get on it, Hudson.
I haven't even thought about Christmas shopping.
You know what I did? I created a Google Doc, and then I put everybody on the Google Doc, and then I shared it with Eric so that we know where we're at with everybody.
Yes.
And then you just start knocking things out.
My typical Christmas shopping is I wait till like 2 weeks before Christmas, and then I try to do it all in a rush. In a frantic rush.
But you won't have anything by then. The world will end. There's no more stuff by then.
If I can't find it, then they didn't need it.
That's how it is. If I couldn't find it, they didn't need it anyway.
That sounds a lot like...
I even have a built-in excuse. Sorry, I was going to get you thing from your list. But they're all
gone.
Out. Yeah.
Your response right there sounded like Isaiah's response to why he doesn't want to eat a food item.
Yes.
So you two are very similar. But if anybody else also is Christmas shopping early, yay!
Good for you.
That's a perfect thing to start doing, and you're not the only one.
Yeah, you're just like
apparently
us.
Not.
And the last thing was that Hudson says some controversial stuff about Squid Games. I think you need to watch it.
What? I'm not going to watch it.
Well, you're not.
I don't even watch things, and I watched it.
You're not Christmas shopping, so what else are you doing?
I got to watch the Red Sox playoff run as it continues. I've got to keep up on, I literally have like one TV show I watch.
Is it still the Hulu one?
Oh yeah, you're right. There's one more episode of that. No, I just started back on Succession because it came back last night. I don't know if I recommend that to everybody. It's an acquired taste.
Well, so Squid Game.
Yeah, true.
If you're like, oh, they really want us to watch it.
Yeah.
It's not
see a lot
for
of blood.
everybody.
Squid Game,
Lot of blood.
I understand the violence is quite literal. In Succession, it's a lot lot more verbal abuse. Is what you're looking at there.
see.
So,
Well,
to each his own.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Isaiah and Hudson because it seems like you guys have some stuff you're working through.
Got some
Blankets and
pressure on
TV
me
shows.
now.
Yes.
Well, enjoy everyone.
I need a show about a guy working at work who has a blanket.
Yes. Now that's something I can tune in. I can relate.
Who likes Boston teams. And
Yes.
so it's both of you
A
combined.
relatable show.
All right. Well, this intro has been too long. We're treating it like we don't have any podcasts.
I know.
How it's been, but enjoy the podcast. Enjoy it being back to its normal length. And again, thanks for supporting Radio U and thanks for supporting our Worst of Riot podcast.
Make sure you send us a nice review as well. We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Now, over the weekend, the box office results are in, and the big release over the weekend was the new Halloween movie, as in Halloween Kills, like Halloween with Michael Myers
Yeah, so
and
that-
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Didn't even know that was coming out. Like, I remember us talking about something with it in Peacock.
Yeah.
But that was it. I forgot it was coming out this past weekend.
I saw, it feels that they pushed it very much
much to
here in
you?
the last, just in the last week or so. It really, all of a sudden, hey, remember that Halloween, they have the holiday is coming up, and so that means Halloween, the movie, is coming up. And it actually did, believe it or not, Nikki, really well.
So how much did it make in theaters?
In total, it made $55 million. It made $50 million in the United States. So it made almost like $5 million. That's almost nothing internationally, but $50 million in the U.S.
That's a lot
That
of
is
money.
a lot.
And then the rest, they're not. Are they saying how much it made for Peacock? Because I'm
No.
sure you had to pay for Peacock to have it.
What we're being told here is that because NBC, Universal, like the owners of Peacock and who distribute the Halloween Kills movie, since they haven't been out and about saying, look how good it did for Peacock also, that leads everybody to believe that it didn't do well for Peacock.
Well, I don't know if they haven't had a successful, it's not the same as like the Disney, the VIP stuff and the paying extra stuff. So I don't know if Peacock would know how to do that anyways.
Yeah. Well,
Tell you,
and I think
it's a different setup.
what nobody knows, because if somebody's going to know, it would be us, because we read all these stories and stuff. Maybe we're a little bit more out of date with the fundraiser going on, but we see all this stuff, and I didn't realize it was releasing on Peacock. And what I never know about stuff when they say it's on Peacock is there's two different versions of Peacock, at least. There might be more, but there's two, where there's the one where you have to pay if you want to watch all of The Office.
Sure.
And maybe Halloween Kills, I don't know. And then there's the free version where I can watch the Munsters with commercials.
Well,
So,
I know it's not the free one.
you don't think it's free to watch Halloween Kills on there?
I don't think so. But then the question is, even if you pay, so like if anybody has Peacock, I know it's slim.
So wait. So
then you might still have to pay again.
Yeah, is there a Peacock Premier Access situation
just like with,
going on?
Disney Plus, you paid for Disney Plus,
Man.
but then you also paid $30 extra to see
or is it
some
more
movies.
HBO Max style? I cannot imagine that they're really asking people, hey, you know how you pay us monthly for Peacock? Would you like to pay extra on top of that to watch
the
Halloween
Halloween
Kills
Kills?
in your own home instead of going and seeing it on the big screen?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a stretch on that one. I also saw people making fun of Peacock recently because, everybody has all the different streaming services have their own Halloween thing.
Yeah.
Like for Hulu, it's Huluween. Very clever, right?
Yeah.
For Peacocks, Peacocktober.
Oh, well, I mean, there's only so much you can do. The name kind of blocks you everywhere.
Well, you don't have to make it a bad pun that's not exactly clear
Let's see what they do with Christmas, okay?
They're going to have to really get creative with that one.
Let's see. William just texted in, said it's the normal Peacock subscription to watch it, so $4.99 a month.
There is no normal Peacock.
Sorry, William.
You're weird for having
wrong.
it. You're weird for having it. Let's just say what we need to say.
And just get it out.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I don't know if you noticed, Isaiah or Nikki, but the college schedule the last week and then this coming week, I already looked ahead, not very good.
Trash.
Yep, absolute
Saturday
garbage.
was
You don't
trash.
Like the
Yep.
lineups? You don't like
No.
it?
No, there's no good games.
No good games.
It was
I mean,
trash.
Iowa lost, so they're not number 2 in the country anymore, but it's not. That doesn't
So you
mean it was
just give up?
interesting.
Yeah.
What? No.
It was like I watched football all day on Saturday
Yeah.
and nothing intrigued
And
me.
nothing
It was the
rewarded
most
you?
boring day of all
But then
days.
I
why
don't
did
even
you
know if
sit
I
there and
watched.
watch it?
Because I wanted it to be something that it wasn't.
We're hoping
I
for
see.
something good.
I
see.
was.
I think I didn't even waste my time with college football on Saturday.
I did the whole day, and I completely regretted it afterwards. I was like, why did they even do this? You
I
know?
hate to tell you, college football is like, well, we don't care because you still watch the
Yeah,
whole
you
day.
still tuned in the whole day, baby.
And somehow
They got
they'll
ya.
find a way this week too, even though
Yep.
this week is even worse of a schedule. Anyways,
great.
but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the NFL, which also was actually in many ways uneventful, just like I
Yeah.
feel like the expected things happened, except for some, the one unexpected thing that happened is that the Cleveland Browns lost to the Arizona Cardinals. And Isaiah, I know you're a Browns fan, so I wanted you to answer for your team's crimes.
Yep.
It's your fault.
What was going on, because they looked like garbage. Why?
I was about to say yesterday was just trash. Like it was just pure trash. I can't even
But
describe it as anything else.
What's the answer? What
Well,
did you fix?
Our quarterback has a torn labrum, and he's just playing, which is
Yeah.
terrible. But he's doing well again. He popped his
Was
shoulder
he
out.
doing well?
He popped
Hey,
his
at
shoulder
least, do you
out
know
mid game,
do you know
and he
how
came
hard
back
it is
in.
to find anybody right now?
Yes.
Like to do any job.
That's right.
Let alone a formidable quarterback. He popped his shoulder out mid-game, came back in,
He's
played
still
the rest of the
trying.
game.
Yeah.
Props to him for doing that because our right tackle and left tackle both were out.
Oh, so that's the problem.
So he was just running for his life with the torn labrum. Nick Chubb didn't play. He was out. Kareem Hunt got hurt mid-game. He was out. Jarvis Landry still out.
Aww.
So
Nobody
it's all
played.
the injuries. then.
It's
Isaiah,
just
you know
Baker
what they
running around.
needed?
Sadness.
They needed you.
They needed me.
They needed you, even though you don't play football.
Had
they needed you
I
there.
suited up, I would have given it my all. It looked like they
Yeah.
weren't even trying. It was so.
I
But the
think-
Cardinals are good. They're undefeated. Like they're a good team. But we just looked like trash yesterday. It was so sad. I just the whole game. I mean, I'm not a person who like tunes out of the game. You know, I watch it all the way through, even when I'm like, God, I don't want to watch. I always have to watch it. And yesterday, I was just in sadness
You're
the
just
whole
not
second
happy.
half.
Yeah. Can you
Aw.
imagine they hit? It was actually very impressive. At the end of the first half,
Yeah.
they hit a Hail Mary for a touchdown.
That was
But you
great.
take that away, and it was just absolutely a terrible, terrible game
It
on their
was.
part.
Well, at least
There's
it matches
nothing
everything
redeeming
else.
about it.
Yes.
Everything college football and
Yeah.
everything NFL. It was just boring and just nothing.
It wrapped
Yeah.
up the whole weekend. Afterwards, I just sat on the couch and I was just in sadness the rest of the Sunday. I was like, what a waste of a weekend. Wasted yesterday.
Yeah.
Today's a waste. Monday, I go back to work tomorrow. What a weekend, baby.
Earlier than you had been working. Yeah.
Let's just see how today goes for you then.
Yeah,
Tim,
we'll turn
okay?
it around today. This
Well,
morning's been pretty good. I'm not tired. I'm
hey,
feeling good.
Got
Feel
good
great.
news for you guys. The Red Sox might win tonight.
Oh.
They should.
No.
They should. So that's good.
That's really going to cheer me up.
It
I
should.
can't wait to watch.
They really should. I'll come in tomorrow
I didn't
wearing
wanna
my
tell
hat
you,
and
but
everything. And
I need something else to be happier.
Maybe
not
something
be
that
it.
caters to me and Nikki a little more.
you guys can watch Halloween Kills on Peacock.
Now we're
Still
talking.
not even that.
Now
No.
we're talking.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
The Christmas season is nearly upon us.
Yeah, I saw some people over the weekend putting up their Christmas decorations.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
They know they. What about their Halloween decorations? What do they just have them up at the same time?
No, I mean like inside Christmas decorations. I know some people put
Well,
outdoor
what about their
up.
Halloween decorations?
Not everybody does that, but I know some people put outside ones up when it's warmer.
Yeah.
But they just don't turn
They
them
don't
on.
turn them on. That makes
I'm talking
sense.
like Christmas trees inside the
No,
house.
that is wrong.
That I felt like we're just a tiny bit too early, but do what you want. It's fine. It's totally fine.
I guess it's inside your own home.
It's your own inside chain.
I'm just saying you're throwing off your whole calendar if you're doing that.
Well, it's not me, but, again, just Facebook tells on a lot of people when they share it.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
like, wow, that's a lot of Christmas stuff already.
Yeah, it's too early for that, but it's not too early, according to many people, to start Christmas shopping. In fact, Nikki, aren't
That's
you
me.
a part of the group that has
That's
already
me.
started Christmas shopping?
I started 1 week ago, and I'm on like a high with it. I just want to get it all done. I just want to get everything done.
Well, you're not alone. 1 in 5 people in this recent survey conducted by One Poll, they say 1 in 5 people in the U.S. already started Christmas shopping as early as September.
Ooh, that early?
They've already gotten started. Now, they say for about a quarter of those, they say it's because they want to better budget their funds. Is that why you did it?
Well, that is helpful because then the mass amount of money you spend on presents is not all lined up in December.
That's actually a great point. It all comes at once in September if you let it.
Well, it's kind of hard, too, because I shop a lot at Costco, and Costco Christmas gift stuff comes out early.
Okay.
And then if you don't buy it, it's gone, and you don't get it at all.
Well, that seems to be true about a lot of things.
It is. And then they say that a lot of stuff has, really increased in prices. And if you can even buy it, like if it's even there.
Yeah.
So it's hard because you don't want to lend to the problem of there being supply issues by buying it all up right now.
Yes, of course.
But when I went to go find something for a friend, I was like, I can buy it. That's great. But then I looked and it said it would ship in 2 months.
Yeah.
I thought, well, here we have a problem.
You really have to watch that one on Amazon. I'm sure other places as well, but definitely Amazon.
So there is
That's
supply.
a problem normally anyways.
I know. Like there's supply issues. There is problems. But I just think it takes the stress out of December.
Yeah.
And I would like a really nice, easy into the year.
Well,
so I started
I hate
a while
to tell
ago.
you, even if you get your Christmas shopping done, something else will make your December stress.
Don't say that.
Something
I'm
will
not
do
gonna have
it.
any problems. Nope.
If you expect it,
Nope.
and then it doesn't happen, you can have relief.
No, I'm going to
But
have.
if you don't expect it and then it comes, then you're unprepared.
I'm gonna have a smooth Christmas, and I'm not the only one. If anybody else has already started Christmas shopping, we can talk about how great that is already.
Well,
happy to do it early.
What about this? Because you're worried about things like getting, you're not going to be able to find stuff. Well, what if I told you that the top gift Americans hope to receive this Christmas?
Yeah.
Vacations.
Vacations?
Yeah. Instead of
get
a trip.
Oh.
Like somebody buys you a trip or concert.
People do this?
also want experiences like concert tickets or things like that, as opposed to,
Other stuff?
things.
They're saying that electronics are 29%, clothing 25%, vacation 26%.
So you know what? I'll tell you what, for my birthday, I got the top gift, the most expensive, and the one that I probably look forward to the most is tickets. It's not actually, and I'm not going to tell you who it's for because you'll make fun of me. But
I don't want to even know.
Nope, you don't want to know.
That.
But I got tickets, and because you know what? I've got enough garbage around my house.
You don't need any more
I don't
stuff.
need any more things.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
The Batman trailer dropped over the weekend. Hey, Nikki saw it.
I'm in it.
Nikki was paying attention.
I can't wait to see it.
What, the trailer or
No,
the
the
movie?
movie.
Really?
I really like the trailer.
Are you actually going to go into the theaters?
Yeah, it's March, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would.
You think?
I'm into righteous violence. I'm fine.
She's like, I'm down for it,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Beating up people.
For a good reason.
Yeah.
Only.
For a
Thank
good
you.
cause.
We don't know what his reasons are yet. We just don't know.
Well, he's a troubled guy, but that's all right.
He's a very emo Batman.
He is. It's very dark.
What do you think, Isaiah?
I think it looks cool.
Is
I
it
think it looks good. I'm not going to see it in theaters probably.
You're
if I had
not?
to guess. No, I'm probably not going
Why
to.
not?
See, I'm not like a huge have to see Batman in theaters kind of guy. I've seen all the Batman movies, but it's not like it's something I really need,
But the trailer isn't so good that it makes you want to go to
The
the theater?
trailer's good, but it doesn't make me want to go.
Man, you're tough to impress.
See, that's what I'm talking. It's just not like Batman just isn't my thing.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me. It would have had to be really, really, really good.
It was.
it was. I think it was good. It was solid trailer. I want to see it, but it wasn't like I need to see it right now.
If you want to see it, then why don't you just go see it in theaters when it comes out?
Because for a trailer to be really, really good, I want it to come out today. I want it to come out today.
It's just too far
I want to
away.
go, and so it's just it's not exciting enough for me to be like, oh, March, I already gotta get it my plans together. It wasn't that good.
Okay, well, don't listen to Isaiah. It was a really good trailer.
It was good. I said it was good.
No, it was amazing. All right. I really liked at the end when the machine guns and they're all shooting at him and he just keeps walking. That was amazing. I was like, he can't get hit.
Yeah, I feel that I don't want to describe any more of the trailer because I feel that it already spoiled some for me.
Oh, you think?
Oh my gosh, here we go again.
Here's how I will describe it. I already was probably going to see it, and I do like the trailer. And I like the trailer enough that I don't want to see any more trailers because I don't want anything else spoiled like this trailer just did.
I thought it was good because you didn't see the same things that was in the last trailer.
Yes.
Well, you didn't see a lot in the last trailer, did you?
You did not. But, I mean, you saw, with the first trailer, when it came out, I thought they had already filmed the movie.
Yeah.
So I felt like I actually saw enough. And then is it Colin Farrell as the penguin guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at all like it.
I know,
it's
he's
really
unrecognizable.
hard to look at him. It's like, wow, what did you do or what did they do on you?
Yeah.
But that looked good.
And then you have Andy Serkis as Alfred, and you also don't recognize him because he's not an ape or or a golem or anything like
But
that.
they always joke he's not a backpack.
Right.
He's not a bad.
It's just that. I thought it was really neat then when a lot of people's opinions on the Batman trailer from yesterday is, how his take is he's really moody, or it's almost like the spin on it seems like he's the villain, even though he's not.
Yeah.
But it puts the villains in the sort of victim side and Batman on the villain side.
That's true.
And so that's what, especially at the end of the trailer when it flips to him walking, it's usually the villain who's walking towards someone.
Yeah,
So I thought it looked cool.
And if you even noticed, it was upside down. So a lot of symbolism there about how they're flipping the script on Batman, you could say.
See,
also,
Isaiah, doesn't it get more exciting the more
when
you
you
talk
guys
about
describe it like this, it does make it more exciting. But you can't fool me into
aren't
seeing
you
it.
curious to find out more about the Riddler's barista career?
I know. That was cool.
That was cool, wasn't it? He is very talented.
Oh, yeah. And then in the beginning
impressive.
when he goes and he puts the guy in a chokehold and was he buzzing him with something?
I don't know.
When you watched in the beginning, that part was cool too. So
Did you,
I thought it was good.
What do you think about, last thing, the Riddler, they never show his face. What do you think that means?
I think the Riddler's all of us.
You think it's a riddle? It's a riddle
They can't
wrapped in
give
a
us too much.
mystery?
It's a riddle, yeah. It's a riddle. To figure it out.
They're doing it like the shark in Jaws. You don't get to see it.
You don't get to see it. Yes.
It's all the symbolism.
Yeah, now we're talking about it after seeing the trailer. I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Only 6 months, huh?
This is The Riot. Radio U.
We talked earlier about how it was not a great weekend for college football. There was not a lot of
big games.
Yeah, games that really felt like they meant a lot. However, there was a game going on in Tennessee where the Tennessee Volunteers, they had their old coach back in the building, Lane Kiffin. He's now the coach of Ole Miss. Ole Miss having a pretty good season. Tennessee showing some improvement. But, they've got a lot to be frustrated about in Tennessee also. They haven't been good at football since Peyton Manning was there.
A while.
Peyton Manning has had an entire NFL career and retired.
I was going to say, I thought he's older.
Yeah, so it's been a while since Tennessee has had a lot to get excited about. They're starting to show some improvement this year, but I guess it really would have been great for them if they could have knocked off Ole Miss and beat their old coach or whatever. They didn't.
At least the fans. I mean, it always seems like they show up and they're very passionate as fans. But maybe this weekend that turned passion the wrong way.
Yeah, right. They're not fair weather like some other fans in some other cities and some other, maybe Big Ten schools perhaps that lose one game and then start saying the skies. They're not like that. Tennessee fans, though, they let their passion get the best of them because during their game with Ole Miss over the weekend, they started throwing garbage onto the field after particularly one call did not go their way.
And they were upset with the call.
It looks like they had reason to be upset with the call from the replay I'm looking at. But nevertheless, that doesn't mean it's okay for you to throw garbage, does it?
Well, it looks like it started off with booing. And then the booing moved into, why don't you just throw garbage onto the field?
And so one of what really stands out is Lane Kiffin, the coach of the opposing team, Ole Miss. He got hit by a golf ball.
Yeah, did you watch the video of it?
Yeah.
It was just like, and then he grabs the golf ball to show like the ref guy. He's like, look, like that.
Can you call a penalty on the fans?
Like, can you do something about it? And then, this was close to the end of the game. But then also the cheerleaders were getting pelted.
Yeah.
And that's all I saw over TikTok because they're like, the cheerleaders.
Oh, no, not the cheerleaders.
Protect him, get him out of the stadium. And they had to, and the marching band, I think, had to be escorted out too.
Wow. Why did somebody even have a golf ball? That's what I don't understand. Who carries a golf ball around at all times?
Listen, I think if you're a real golfer, you're like, you never know when a game just might pop up or to throw at somebody.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
I've heard, and I don't know if this is true. I don't know if I believe it, but I've heard of people that will keep golf balls in their glove compartment of their car.
Yeah, for safety or?
For road rage.
No.
I've heard of that.
No way.
But I don't know if that's just like a funny thing that they've said or if they're
real?
actually serious where they would throw it out the sunroof.
Does anybody have
if
any
they
golf
got
balls in their
upset
car
on the
for
highway?
That reason? That person who does that
Who wants to admit it?
is the one who went to see Tennessee.
That's exactly right. They took one out of the glove compartment. They just already knew. But you know what? That was if you feel that you needed to do that, that already tells you what your expectations are for your team, and it tells you that you shouldn't be disappointed. That you shouldn't feel the need to throw a golf ball because you're already expecting them to have. You're already expecting to have something to be upset about.
They were just mad. I think
you change your expectations.
The trash got people started, even though at the end they were like, "Hey, Tennessee needs to have like something like something given to them, like a fine or something for what they were doing to Ole Miss." But then people are like, "Well, what are you doing? It's just the fans. There's only so much you can do."
I don't know how you can, especially when it's not just one person, because a lot of times. You see it, maybe more so in professional sports than in college, where, let's be honest, it's a bunch of, college students. But, in professional situations, the crowd will be quick to point out somebody if they're doing something really wrong, like throwing golf balls at people. But it's hard when there's so many people in the stands that were all upset, all doing stuff. I don't know if you can wrangle them all up and say you're banned from coming to games or punish them in some way. So,
welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
My exciting weekend involved football, and it involved going to the mechanic.
Oh, aw.
Yeah, I was having some car trouble. Nothing.
Did they believe you?
That
Something was wrong.
It wasn't. I kind of wonder in a way because they told me they couldn't replicate the problem I was talking about, but I couldn't replicate the problem. It would happen and then it would go away, and it hasn't. It's gone away since I went and talked to them. So
that's good.
But does anybody else you have a lot of anxiety about going to the mechanic? You go and. A lot of people will try to make the noise that the car is making. I'm not even going to try. But you try to describe your problem to the mechanic, and you always feel like a fool.
Yes.
And
yes, you do.
The good news is, though, you got a good mechanic, which are sometimes hard to find, but you got a good mechanic, and he knows. You give him a very vague description, and he's like, oh, I know. And this didn't happen to me, but I heard the mechanic talking to other people at the shop, and based off of their very limited information, a lot of times he could kind of just tell them, well, it's probably this. We'll take a look at it. You can keep going to AutoZone and redoing this, but we'll take a look at it and see, here are your options. They always just know, right? They've seen enough cars. They've been through enough. They know the answer, and then you pay them the right price. They'll take care of it for you.
They'll take care of the problem.
Yeah, and as little as some of us know about cars, somehow the mechanic, you get a good mechanic, and he knows exactly, or she knows exactly what to do. And sometimes I feel that's actually what God is like. That is what a relationship with Jesus is like, where you have, there's a problem in your life. Whatever it may be, but maybe you don't really have a great way to describe it. Just I just don't my life. It's kind of making this sound, and what you don't know that really, because if you knew that much about it, you would be able to solve it yourself. But the truth is we run into issues in life. We don't really know how to describe them. We don't know what the answer is. But you get God in your life. You start talking to Jesus and just kind of tell him like, hey, something's going wrong. He knows the answer. God is going to help you out of whatever your situation is, whatever the difficulty you're experiencing, the indescribable problem or the describable problem that you just have no idea how to fix. Jesus knows how to fix it, and he's ready to help. And you don't even really have to pay a big price. It's not like going to the mechanic where you're afraid to see the bill. It's just which
is why you wouldn't go in the first place.
That's exactly right. It's like, well, I'll take my chances with the flat tire or the bent axle or whatever. Those would be horrible things. Don't drive on those. But, you want to take your chances just because you don't want to see the bill. It's not that way with God. You ask God for help, and he will give it to you free of charge right there on the spot. Say, hey, God, I'm dealing with this. I've got some kind of problem in my life. I don't even know exactly what it is, but I want some help with it, and God will help you out free of charge. If you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It's not just Nikki and I. Isaiah is here with his bang and his blanket.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and yes.
Isaiah only deals with things with bees at this
Apparently.
point.
This morning.
I have a bang and a blanket, please.
So this started last week during our fall fundraiser, which, by the way, less than 9% to be fully funded. So if you did not get in to support last week, please check out RadioU.com. But it's not just Isaiah anymore. Something comes along with Isaiah every time he comes in.
Yeah, you got a new blanket. So what happened? Did you...
Are you cold?
Did you misplace your jacket?
It's not that it was last week in general. It was more of a, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm done. I'm doing it. I'm bringing it in. I haven't worn a short sleeve to work since I started working here.
Sure.
Nearly, I don't even know how many months ago it was, but in July is when I started working here. I've worn a long sleeve every single day, even when it was 90 degrees out, because it's freezing in here.
It's 69.
It's colder. It's cold.
Now, I will say we have these certain air vents, especially in between our two rooms.
Yeah.
And that's where the cold air is coming from. If you're just sitting in here all morning, I don't need a blanket. But if you're walking back and forth and where you're at, I could see a light jacket or something.
Listen,
a blanket really feels like another level.
No, a blanket is necessary.
Not giving up, but I don't know how else to explain it.
The other thing is there's days where I walk in where my door, I don't know who does it. Somebody does it. My door is left open. And if my door is left open when I walk in, this one right here, I know it's over because that cold air is blowing in right in the hallway.
Sits in there.
And it just goes right into my room. And if I come in the morning at 5:30 in the morning and my door's open, then just throw the day away.
Well,
throw it away.
Not anymore since you have your blanket.
I now have my blanket. It's the only thing saving me. I just leave it on my chair in there. So every day when I come in, I can just wrap up in it right when I get there, and it just warms me up.
You look like a sick person in a Campbell's commercial.
I'm not sick, okay? I'm not sick. But I'm just happy to be warm and cozy.
You know when
you do look sick though.
In the commercials for cold medicine when they have a cup of soup or tea and they're in a blanket and they sniff the tea and it's just this is what it's like being sick.
It feels like you're at home. You're dressing for how you would be at home if you were cold.
If you were going to sit next to a bay window and read a book with a cup of hot cocoa.
And everybody who's listening, the majority of people who are listening probably would love to have a blanket at work. I just did it. I just brought the blanket in.
Jealous?
They're just jealous that I have it.
There's lots of things we'd love to have at work, like a pillow and a mattress also, but we don't bring them to work. We don't bring them to work.
But look where I am, sitting here wrapped up in a blanket. It's okay that you guys didn't bring a blanket today. That's okay. You can bring one tomorrow, okay? It's not a big deal.
I'm just worried the next step, this
What's
is
next?
step one. What's the next one before we have to have a meeting about the bed that's over there?
If you're cold and using a blanket when it's barely fall, what are you going to do when it snows?
Winter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know there's some hot cocoa. I already saw that. It's already loaded up in the kitchen, so that will be made at some point here in the next month or so. I hope maybe another blanket. I could do two. I could do one for my legs, one for my upper body. This one doesn't completely cover me, and so I could use one for the bottom and the top.
Do you
preferably.
have Uggs or slippers you're going to bring in?
I do have slippers, and I love my slippers.
I
I
know
wear
you
them all the
do.
time.
You're going to start wearing a bathrobe, I feel.
I'm going to come in tomorrow in
honey-
a bathrobe and slippers and my blanket.
Honey just texted in. I wasn't saying honey to like you.
Well, honey, I think it's time for you to stop.
No, honey texted in. Says, it's okay, Isaiah. I'm a blanket person too.
Thank
It's
you,
not
honey.
weird. Don't let Nikki and Hudson bully
Thank you.
Pretty weird.
I knew that other people, if you could take a blanket to work, wouldn't it be so nice? If you're sitting at work on your way to work, if you could just sit at your desk with a blanket, wouldn't it just make you so much happier?
I
Because
know.
I'm happy.
This
I'm
is
so
your
much
sign
happier
to
here.
bring it in.
Yes.
It's very casual here in the radio biz.
Well,
But I don't know if it should be this casual.
that's
What?
the thing. It's so casual. I didn't know we could actually go lower.
Yeah.
What? Listen, the first
blanket
week
ass.
I worked here, everyone's like, Isaiah's dressing too nicely. He has a collared shirt on, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And now that I'm comfortable, I bring in a blanket. Everyone's like, well, I don't know if that's work appropriate.
You're not bringing in a blanket. You're wearing a blanket
You're right.
every moment of the day.
I am wrapped up in it. I'll walk
Yes.
through the hallways to the kitchen. I've got my blanket
You
wrapped
go
up.
up to your office upstairs and be in a blanket. Also, you're
Listen,
going
it's
through the
okay,
whole
okay? It's
building.
the same thing as a hoodie. It's just a blanket.
No,
it's just softer.
it's not. It's not. It's not.
It's like a little cape. I just wear it around
That's
the
right.
whole place.
Every morning I'm asking, like, are you sick? Are you chilled? Or
No.
what are we dealing with here?
Just
Where's
another
your
day.
Theraflu?
It's just Monday.
It's just Monday. Well, I'm glad you're happy. It's been weird, but we'll get used to it.
Yes,
We'll
you guys
totally
are
get
used to it.
And
Yeah.
if you guys want a blanket or anybody else wants to bring a blanket to Radio U, I guess that's the new thing. So
It
that's
is.
what we'll do.
I will not be participating. I'll
Yes.
keep wearing uncomfortable jackets.
Dude, you're gonna bring a comforter in or something.
Yes.
Like I
I
can
do-
see us going further with this.
I got a new Red Sox blanket for my birthday. I can
Wouldn't
start
you
wearing
love to
that.
have it right now? It'd be so nice.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know if you guys would like it. I'll just be waving it around. They keep winning, guys. They keep winning.
Another win.
If you bring a blanket in and then I'm the only one with
Then
it.
Nikki's gonna be like, well, maybe I need a blanket too.
Who will be? That's a great question. Who will be the last blanket
Yes.
holdout?
Mm.
Which one of us will fall first?
I've already caved.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Don't need to wake up when you bring your blanket.
No,
to
I was
work.
gonna say
No.
you have to get
You
out
don't
of
have to.
bed, but there's no saying that you can't bring your bed with you.
That's perfect. Well, we were talking to Isaiah. We're back from our fall fundraiser, and we noticed last week that something had happened. And now that we're able to kind of dive in a bit more, Isaiah has a work blanket now that he keeps, and he just wears around him, and he just shuffles
Now,
around.
I have a question real quick because I haven't noticed.
Yes.
Do you take the blanket home with you and bring it into work, or do you just leave it here?
No, it is a work blanket. I have
When are you
blankets at
gonna wash
home.
it?
I don't know which is worse.
What do you
but-
wash it? Wash a blanket?
Yes.
What do you mean?
When are you going to wash your blanket?
I'll wash it at some point when
Nikki,
it feels like it's dirty, but
He's
it's not
just
dirty.
a little boy. He doesn't wash his blankets.
It's my work blanket. How dirty could it possibly get here?
You're walking around with it. It's touching the ground.
Yeah.
No.
Touching the ground, you're drinking bangs with it. It's bound to
Listen,
spill.
It is perfectly fine. So if it starts to smell, you guys can just tell me, and then I'll wash it.
I feel like I'm going to have to take it home and wash it. And
If
not
you'd
tell
like
you.
to watch it, I'm not against that either, you know?
Well, we were bringing it up to Isaiah, and I don't want you guys to think that it's a bully work environment
Yeah,
because we
it
were
could be.
questioning
It could
the
be.
blanket choice. So Julia says, Isaiah, I have a Snuggie at work and a space heater at work. I don't like being cold, so don't let them shame you for needing warmth.
Thank you. Thank you. I knew that it was going to come in. I knew once I said I had a work blanket, you guys were like, you have a blanket at work? Everyone's going to be like, oh, I wish I had a blanket at work.
I
We
don't
really
wish.
can't do space heaters, so like the blanket will have to do.
Yeah.
Aaron says, Radio U merch idea. What about a Radio U Snuggie? Or a Radio U blanket? Then you're promoting while you're wearing it.
That's a good idea. We could get like my
Promote it
face
around the
on it or
building.
something. That sounds like a great marketing idea. People would love that.
They're like, why does it have this guy's
Yeah.
face
Who
on
is
it?
this guy?
Let's see. Rebecca says, Isaiah, I take your blanket and raise you a blanket and a space heater. So that actually is the next step I feel like you would
Yeah.
try to go to would be a space heater.
Which
then-
apparently is not allowed here.
No,
at
if we,
Radio U.
the fire marshal or whatever came for the inspection, I think
Yeah.
that he would shut that
He would be
down.
upset, I would say.
Yeah.
I also feel like we can barely handle enough responsibility, and the space heater
Let
just
alone,
is
yes.
right over it.
Plus,
Yeah.
you'd start hearing Isaiah Isaiah doing the news and you hear in the background,
and running in the background of my news.
And it always smells like something's burning.
Yes.
So
that's when you'll know it's gone too
I'm
far.
nervous. Let's see. Rachel said, I too have a work blanket. I don't get cold often, but it's nice to have something cozy on hand. But the solution we didn't know we needed would be RadioU Snuggies. So there's the
That's
idea.
an idea. It just feels like a Snuggie is so, made for
5,
TV.
10 years ago?
Yes, exactly. What are we going to have, an infomercial for it? Come on.
I think it's a good idea. I like the Snuggie idea because I could work with it on, like, my blanket. I kind of have it, wrapped around me and stuff. I'd like to have, a little sleeve
arms?
action so I can get the hands out there.
Sleeve
Well,
action.
Jeremy, he texted in and said, I think the next step in Isaiah's comfortable workwear will be the wearable sleeping bag. So it's the one that has the arms and the legs, out.
Yeah.
So that's what you need.
That is what I need. I could have it around the legs, because right now it doesn't cover the whole body. I have to choose top or bottom. Right now I'm rocking its bottom.
It's wrapped around you like a towel.
Well, yeah, it's just warm. So, if you guys could see me right now,
look at you.
it is so comfortable sitting here with this thing wrapped. I feel like I'm getting a hug kind of
All right.
24/7.
I'm going to take a picture and I'll post it
There you go.
on our social media so you can see Isaiah and his work blankie.
I was going to suggest that you get one of those heated jackets because my brother got one of those. He's a construction worker. He works out in the actual cold.
Here I am in the
I
radio
think that's
studio.
what those are actually made for. Not when you're inside in a climate-controlled environment.
But again, we support. We're not
Yes.
questioning it. We're supporting it. Let's see.
I don't
Jason just
support
texted it. Just tell Isaiah that he needs to wear a hoodie. So you
Whoa.
can also do that.
I feel like a blanket's more formidable than a hoodie. I
What
think,
if you
I think it works better.
You do a combo, you get the hoodie and the blanket. Think about how good you'd feel.
Would it be appropriate if I had my hood up in the studio?
I
'Cause
prefer that.
I love
I would
ears
prefer
covered.
that.
I love ears covered.
Listen, we had another employee who did that for a while, and I just felt like I just wanted to pull it down and be like, listen, we don't need to do that.
Yes.
It's just too emotional.
It's
put
too
your
much.
hood down, put your hood down.
I always feel if you're wearing a hood, and especially because we're always on computers, it looks like you're a hacker.
yeah.
And you've got it up.
Because that's how you can tell a hacker if they've got the hood on.
This is, Chuck just says, also just wear a hoodie. So
Yeah.
I think they're turning on
Well,
you.
this is what the men do. Is we wear
Whoa.
hoodies.
The blanket is so much better. I could wear a hoodie, but then the blanket, like if I want on the legs, my legs are cold, my feet are cold. It's a lot more versatile. The hoodie is just up top.
Well, NF has layers.
That's
so
what you
this
need to
new
do,
song
layer
takes
up.
a new
I love
meaning.
it.
A nice base layer underneath. And you,
Blanket, the hoodie, the snuggie.
You get it all working together.
Oh, don't bring gloves into this
Yes.
either. Don't do gloves or a scarf.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? Radio U.
Did you ever wind up finishing Squid Game?
I did. I watched all of it.
You did?
I did.
And?
I liked it. One part or a couple parts towards the end, I was like, well, we kind of lost a little bit. But
Yeah.
I liked how it wrapped up.
So.
By not wrapping up.
Oh, wait.
There'll be a second season.
Oh, really?
Oh, sure.
Spoiler alert. I feel that
They've been vocal about that. They'll do a second
They're
season.
doing a second season.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that that I've missed the chance on Squid Game.
No, you totally can still watch
I can
it.
still. I don't think
Yeah.
I know I can. I just don't think I'm going to.
Well, I didn't think you were going to watch it anyways.
Yeah, but no, there was a sweet spot because we're like 3.5 weeks into it now. Maybe like a week and a half ago, it was like maybe it's so popular
No,
that I
you're
might
gonna-
have to get into it.
Wrong.
Just
You'll
to
have
feel-
through Halloween because that's what everybody's Halloween costume's going to be.
You're right about that.
It'll be something from
You're
Squid
right
Game,
about
for
that. That's a
sure.
great point. I just don't. I see all the stories about it. I don't know that many people. I mean, I guess I know you and Isaiah both watched it, but I feel that I don't
Or
know that
you're
many
only,
people otherwise that have been watching it. But apparently, it has had a lot of people watching it. Netflix has, or at least Bloomberg has reported on some numbers that Netflix has leaked out for Squid Game. They say that apparently it is generating about $900 million for them in revenue, even though it only cost $21.4 million to make.
Which sounds expensive, but I guess when you're talking about a show, because they kept saying, well, no, in the beginning they said that was a lot of money for Netflix to spend on a dedicated show. Not like, the Chappelle special.
Yeah.
They leaked its numbers and they spent around the same amount.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That seems a lot.
Yeah. Well,
that's why we're paying so much each month.
I would hazard to guess that even spending the $21 million to make it, they surely weren't expecting $900 million, and they were probably expecting more of it to be a hit in the Asian markets where it more fit in than thinking that it would take off in the U.S. and other places as well. But nevertheless, it's generating a lot of revenue for them, and you're thinking, well, how is it doing that? It's not like people are paying, there's no way that $900 million worth of people subscribed to because of Squid Game. So how do they
subscribers, but they also get the merchandising and stuff that goes with it.
Yeah, that must be a lot of it, right? It's just that kind of stuff. They also released numbers on exactly how many people have already finished it. And let's see, 132 million have watched at least 2 minutes of it, and it's only been out again for about 3 weeks. And 87 million people, they say, have finished the season entirely.
They say 89% of people who started the show watched more than one episode of Squid Game, and 66% finished watching the series within the first 23 days of it.
So that means that when they made it, however they made it, I don't know. I haven't seen it. But they made the first episode really good enough to hook people in. Yeah. And after that, that's all that matters. But again, you just got to hook you in, You'll see nothing but Squid Game Halloween costumes, because if you can get away with wearing a hoodie, like a track jacket set, that's amazing. So you could be one or two main characters and be very comfortable. That's if you're doing something. Excellent point. That it is. It's an easy costume. It is, and it's going to be so popular. Whereas
then it'll die out after.
Yeah, I already know my Halloween costume. It's similarly low maintenance, low effort, but it's not as culturally hitting on a phenomenon.
I see.
It's Charlie Brown.
Well, you know that's a classic.
Hey, there's a new special coming to Apple TV Plus, right? So
this just shows
maybe that'll take off too.
You're so on target and on brand.
Oh yeah,
that is just amazing.
Hey, at least I'm not dressing up as Herman Munster.
True.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.